Khaldoon Bekou writes, what do you guys mean when you say that 20th Century Fox has to make more Fantastic Four movies, otherwise the rights will revert back to Marvel? I mean, why does a certain studio have to continue to make movies on a certain franchise in order to keep the rights for that franchise? Thanks, and keep up the good work.
It all depends on the individual deal. Now, there are some, you can just sell an IP straight up. Like, I own the IP to Felipe the Sentient Dancing Microphone. Okay, so I own the IP to that character, and if Schnepp has a great idea for a movie, he really loves my idea, he can just outright buy my intellectual property off me, and that's fine. But what if I don't want to outright sell my intellectual property to Felipe the Sentient Dancing Microphone? What if I want to hold on to that, but I have no plans for him right now, and I could use the cash? Okay, what I can do is work out a deal with Schnepp. Says, okay, I'll give you a license you have the rights to make all the movies with Felipe the Sentient Dancing Microphone.
Wait till you read this script, John Pierre. You will be blown away by this script. It's amazing.
So he sells me on this script, but I don't want my IP to just be sitting. What happens if he makes one and doesn't make it again? I don't want my IP to just be sitting collecting dust on a shelf. So I say, okay, you can make the Dancing Microphone movie, and you can make subsequent movies, but if you're not in production on a new Felipe the Sentient Dancing Microphone movie goes to Hawaii or something, at least every 4 years, then your lease on it is now up and the rights revert back to me. It's just a way to make sure that my IP is being utilized. Plus, I probably have written in that deal, every time you make a Felipe the Sentient Dancing Microphone movie, I get $1.2 million from you. So I want you to keep making those movies, and if you don't, then I want them to come back to me so I can profit from it. And that's kind of what you see. How would you explain it any differently?
No, it's a rights reversion. It's a great way to keep the property, and the IP is with the intellectual property. When you hear IP, that's what they're talking about, to keep it alive. Otherwise, people will just sit on it, and like in certain ways, like people will sit on certain properties and be like, no, I'm not going to let you do anything with it, but I'm not doing anything with it. So that's why these kinds of deals that you hear about, like if they're not actively in production on X reverts back to the original. That's why Superman, it had to be in production, otherwise the rights would revert back. Or if the comic book isn't being utilized, the rights revert back to the original owner. So there's all these kinds of things with intellectual properties, and they change vary from like, as you can see, X-Men is going to be a Fox forever because they're always going to be in production with some form of a mutant somewhere on screen and in television. So with Fantastic Four, if they aren't making that sequel, if they aren't in production on making that sequel that they announced in 2017, those rights will revert back to Marvel, regardless of what happens, whether they didn't. Well, we're going to make something. They have to announce it. They have to get into production. They have to write a script. Otherwise, the rights revert.
And that's why I get your dancing microphone movie. Come on over. I'm Marvel Studios. I got all the other dancing microphones. Why don't you come on over? Come on, Felipe. We could use you in our picture.
The fans want a dancing microphone shared universe.
Hey, guys, if you like this clip, click here to watch the entire episode. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel because it'll help you stay up to date with all the stuff we've got going on here at Collider.